Welcome back to Universally Speaking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look back on what was another unsurprisingly chaotic week in Universe mode. We begin this week with yet another bizarre video surfacing from Bray Wyatt. He continues the mind games with Apollo Crews, and the video surfaced randomly. And much like the previous video, it was Crews being shown his history by Wyatt himself. Wyatt referenced several times that he, assuming he is referring to the Fiend, isn't here to hurt Crews. He instead is here to heal him. I can't even begin to imagine what this means for Crews, as Wyatt has flown off the deep end recently, with this seemingly double personality becoming more and more volatile. We will keep you posted as news comes to hand. Also, speaking of the Red Brand and Monday Night Raw talent, it showed just what it's made of in the main event when World Champion AJ Styles stood toe-to-toe with US Champion Andrade Cien Almas in a champion versus champion clash for the ages. This is the third time these two have met, and the series, being tied at 1-1 overall going into it, was heading to classic territory when a jealous and bitter-raged Mike Kanellis would hit the ring, battering Almas with a drop kick and fighting him through the crowd. But it was earlier that night, Almas's business associate Zelina Vega had some tough words for Kanellis and his wife, so perhaps this was retaliation. We'll certainly find out more this coming week when all four are in the same building at the same time. This week on NXT, we had a combustible start to the show when Buddy Murphy, dressed in full ring attire ready to fight, open proceedings with a challenge to the man who laid him out and subsequently lost him the NXT Championship last week, Shane Thorne. Thorne would wisely appear on the Tron, however, nowhere near Murphy's wrath, would berate his fellow Australian over stealing the limelight. Thorne suggested that Murphy had been afforded far too much praise over the course of their careers. Seems very bitter and angry about it. Murphy wanted to fight Thorne on that night, but it appears he's gonna have to wait. Thorne is a dangerous entity. When fueled by pure hatred and jealousy, he could be a huge thorn in the side of Murphy. Also on NXT this week, we saw another in-ring dominant display when Muerte Desde Arriba, also known as Death from Above, were in six-man tag team action. The match was swiftly over, and while yes, the opponents weren't of the highest caliber, you get the impression that this trio would have done the same thing to almost any opposition. They dispatched their opponents in double time and lived up to the faction name of Death from Above, delivering a barrage of high-flying moves before it was sealed with Selena Del Sol from group leader Kalisto. But it was after the match that things got even more interesting, as Robert Roode would come out onto the ramp, ensuring to keep a safe distance. He would challenge one, and I reiterate, one of the members of Death from Above for a match next week. Roode explained that he believed the trio are just thugs and frontrunners. They only travel in a pack, and he wants to see how they fare alone. Will one of the members step up next week? I would like to think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Now on to the Blue Brand, and what many are calling the A-Show, SmackDown. There was a common thread throughout the show, and that was the recommencement of the Dar Wars. Noam Dar had his fingerprints all over this show from start to finish. Meddling with his arch-rival Randy Orton and his newest ally Bobby Lashley, Dar would get involved in the first and last match of the night and cost both Orton and Lashley their respective matches. Dar would get dropped by Lashley, however, right towards the end, but it wasn't long before his backup in War Machine would do the same to Lashley. It's been a rare occurrence that we have seen Lashley or Orton get dominated, but the numbers game appears to be too much. What will they do when they're backed into a corner? We know damn well what a snake does when they are backed into a corner. They attack. We wait with bated breath to find out exactly what they'll do. And finally, we come to the tag team champions of SmackDown, Sanity. They made even more news this week in their match, or if you can even call it that. This is our Socially Speaking Moment of the Week. I can't imagine Eric Young has a terribly active email. Look at this guy. That's not a guy who's reading emails. It's Eric Young. Oh, shot. That is. And this guy's just absolutely clinically out of his mind. And in comes this young man. He's going to get some. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yep, that's probably exactly what I would do. Jackson Riker's in the ring, and I'm going to dip. I think that's probably the smartest thing I've ever seen. Jackson Riker staring a hole through him. And Eric Young just took out that other guy, and well, he sees what he's faced with. And he's going to get out of there as well. I do not blame him at all. I don't think we see that enough. Those two men, local Philadelphia natives. This is, I'm assuming, over. The referee's going to have to throw this out. Wait a minute, what the hell is Jackson Riker doing? Oh my God. Riker. That's the timekeeper. That's Joe, the timekeeper. And Eric Young is screaming something at Jackson Riker. Surely not. Surely, oh no. Hey, come on. Get your hands off him, man. Jackson Riker. And Eric Young screaming more directive at him. Eric Young is just screaming at Riker. I think he must have screamed at him to put him down. Eric Young showing how dangerous Jackson Riker is under his control. Who on earth could possibly stop Sanity right now? It is insane. Joe lives to fight another day, but I'd be getting out of there, yeah. So F's on the menu for the two gentlemen, and probably the smartest move either man could have made, if we're being totally honest. To be part of Socially Speaking, as always, ladies and gentlemen, just be yourself. It's very, very easy. Keep chatting in the live chat and in the comments below for your chance to be featured. This week on Raw, we have a big rematch between two of the brightest young stars on the roster. The debutant Austin Theory goes one-on-one with Cedric Alexander after Alexander was pinned controversially by Theory, and Theory used the ring ropes as leverage. Will Austin Theory be looking for another sneaky way out again, or can Alexander get his own back? We're going to have to wait and see. Plus, on SmackDown, Toni Storm, the women's champion, is in action against Ember Moon, who impressed against Liv Morgan enough this past week. General Manager EC3 has decided that he wants to give her a chance to measure herself against the best on the roster in Storm. And also, on NXT, Trent Seven, in his in-ring debut on the Black and Gold brand, he takes on Carl Anderson, as Anderson makes an attempt to keep himself and Gallows in contention for the Tag Team Championships upon Gallows' eventual return. Plus, Dakota Kai and Beth Phoenix face off in the ring at the same time for an interview with Renee Young. It's never been more important to have notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going live on YouTube every single episode of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-views, takeovers. All of it is live, premiered. Plus a ton of great ways you can support the channel and receive many benefits, including signing up as a mid-carder or above on Patreon to get early access to every single video. That ain't all. You can also join the Murphs Elite right here on YouTube by clicking the join button to get access to emotes, special sub badges. There is now 3 tiers. You can join up as a rookie for access to only the emotes and sub badges, or you can join up as an established star to get emotes, sub badges, and access to our special private Discord server, plus the new Superstar tier, where you can get all of the previous benefits, but we will chuck in early access as well. Also, the Teespring store, open 24/7. for a Murph's YT13 t-shirt or hoodie, or of course, the ESM endorsed Elite t-shirts, all available all the time. As always, ladies and gentlemen, for Murph's YT13, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.